Welcome to Dr. Mary Travelbest's 5 Steps to Solo Travel Guide for people like you who need extra support traveling one at a time. Please share this podcast. I really appreciate your feedback and travel questions. In this episode, the FAQ is Safety in India for Solo Travel. And today's episode is Delhi, India, Part 2. Today's misstep is cell phone issues that were my fault, plus more. And travel advice, safety tips for travel in Delhi. So let's go to the FAQ. My friend Kathryn, she was going to Delhi and was worried about being a solo woman. So she asked me, can I help her with what she can expect? And here's my short answer. Kathryn's already back home and she had a great trip, but she was nervous and needed confirmation that all would be good. And now for today's destination. We're going to be talking about Delhi, India. This is part 2. Delhi is one of the best parts of India. And I'm also going to talk about Aero City, which is one of the cities right near Delhi. So the Delhi Metro, it has air conditioning and it's mostly underground. So here were some of my instructions as a woman traveling solo and notes that I took. Take the Kashmir Gate. It has bus stops. The T3 goes to Airport Express. It's orange toward New Delhi. Switch trains in 10 minutes. To the yellow, go towards Sanapur. Take 2 stations to Kashmir Gate number 80. The 12:30 bus is Raj Kalpura, or you could take the Zing bus at 5 p.m. from the Kashmir Gate. Wow. If those directions sound challenging, it was. What did I do? Well, I finally booked a bus to Agra at 1:30 for a 7 p.m. departure. After going on the metro to New Delhi station and then the railway station, the quote-unquote guy who worked there, unquote, convinced me that he wasn't going to take any money and that it was a real deal. But guess what? It was a scam. I went to the tourist office. That was a joke. It had air conditioning, but that was all it had. I got scared. Actually, they tried to scare me off. They told me there's going to be 500 people in each train car. There's going to be no air conditioning. He wanted to sell me a taxi ride for 8,000 rupees. And another scam, they sent me to another travel agency, and at least he admitted he was a scam. He said there were really no seats on the train. Too bad. So finally, I took the metro to the Kashmir Gate. I found the buses. Only this time, none of those buses were going to Agra. But I enjoyed the city in the meantime. And that's the end of that story. But a few days later, I ended up in Aero City. So let me tell you a little bit about that. Okay, Aero City is really close. It's really close to the airport, the Indira Gandhi International Airport. It's well connected to the rest of the city through the airport metro. And so you can get to places in the center of Delhi, like Connaught Place, in about 25 minutes. So Aero City, it's a top priority for safety and security, especially if you're a solo traveler like me. I really felt comfortable here. It's got lots of cameras, staff, and surveillance. The hotels and surrounding public spaces are really nice. So this is something I'd highly recommend. I felt safe. I took the Airport Express Metro to Aero City and I walked about 6 minutes in the 105-degree heat. But when I arrived, I was drenched in sweat and all I could think of was getting in the pool. It made that walk bearable. There were girls in the pool. There were sisters who were my new friends. They were 8 and 11 years old and they were in the room next to me on a school holiday. It was a real nice break for the families and for me to get to know each other. So I stayed in the Ibis Hotel. I would give them a 5-star rating. They even found my water bottle, which I left in the gym that morning, and that saved me. I really needed that water bottle. I also went to the 7-Eleven store by the World Mark and a bazaar store. Fed me for a few days. I bought a loaf of bread, peanut butter, orange juice, yogurt, health drink, and Hershey's chocolate, and acai blueberries. They were really delicious. The mini fridge in the hotel was great. It had lots of the things I needed. And the stores in the Aero City, they really came to life at night. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about my misstep with my cell phone plan. So today's misstep was my cell phone. Here's what I figured out. with my cell phone issues with Airlo. So I couldn't figure out why my WhatsApp wasn't working. India was not in my All Asia plan. That was my fail. So I didn't have internet service when I was out of Wi-Fi coverage in India. So something with the eSIM, the Airlo plan that was not covered under All Asia, I needed to revisit that and to make sure that people know that All Asia does not include India for Airlo. But if you do want to sign up for the plan, which I have used worldwide, you can get $3 off with the code MARY2856, and I'll put that in the show notes. Now, today's travel advice. Delhi safety tips. I've got 5 tips for you. Number 1, dress conservatively, especially in the urban villages when visiting religious sites. Number 2, avoid crowded areas at night. Stick to well-lit and populated areas and avoid walking alone at night. Step 3, be aware of your surroundings. Keep an eye on your belongings and be cautious of pickpockets and scams. 4, use trusted transportation. Prefer prepaid taxis, Uber, or Ola, and avoid accepting rides from unknown drivers. And 5, and finally, act confident. Walk with confidence and firmly decline any unwanted attention or offers. And now, I want to bring meaning to your future travels, so please sign up for the Dr. Travelbest newsletter. You can also find me on all the social media, and on Amazon you'll find my book series, 5 Steps to Solo Travel. Thanks for listening.
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travelbest, that is.